Hey, everybody, welcome back to Survivor Fit with Shay. I am so thankful for all those who viewed part one of my Survivor story. It took me a minute to actually get my story out there on this channel just because I actually never had thought about telling my story, but I just felt one day it needed to be done. And so that's the reason why I shared my story. And I want to continue to be the voice for the voiceless because it's very important that this cause gets its visibility. It's very important that women share their stories. If you've been watching reports in the last few weeks, there have been over, I believe, maybe 13 women who have lost their lives uh, due to domestic violence. And it has just been, I mean, just out of control reports of things happening to women for the longest time. But when we hear it on, especially with social media, as soon as we wake up in the morning, the first thing we pick up is, our phones or our tablets or iPads, and we're looking at what's happening with everybody we follow. And I said, I'm going to share my story. So that was part one. And I wanted to welcome you to part two. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I still have to be the voice to the voiceless for those women who have decided that they're not ever going to share their story, for those women who may not be ready to share their story, or for women who are afraid to share their story. I hope that my coming to your presence will just amplify something in you, will show you that when you are ready you can share your story. So I think I left off with some a story, one of the scenarios, a story where I was at church, and of course, I got accused of trying to make a pass at one of the members at the church. I also wanted to bring up a story where I was getting ready to go to Bible study. I was living in an area here um, outside of Dallas, and decided that I was going to get ready to go to Bible study. And I saw the keys on the kitchen counter at first, and then when I got ready to walk out the door, the keys were not there on the counter. And so I was like, "Where are the keys?" So my ex is sitting right there in the living room, looking like he doesn't know where the keys are, which he did know where the keys were because he took them. So I had made up in my mind, I was ready. I was going to Bible study no matter what. And so I started walking. I got my Bible and my bag, and I said, I'm just to go to Bible study. So I'm walking. I literally walk out the door. I'm walking, and then guess who comes up driving on beside me while I'm walking on the sidewalk? He walks in. He was like, "Get in the car," and I was like, "No, I'm not getting in the car." And he was like, "Where are you?" I said, "I told you where I was going. I'm going to Bible study." And he just proceeded to talk as I was walking or whatever. So he eventually left. But my neighbor, who literally lives next door to us at the time, came up to me. She came up to me. She was like, "Girl, where are you going?" And I said, "Girl, I'm trying to get to Bible study." Now, mind you, Bible study was not close. Bible study was not close at all. But I was determined to get there. So I just felt like my neighbor was my angel at the time. She dropped me off to Bible study, and it was, had a good time. Didn't share my story with anyone, but I asked someone from the Bible study, "Hey, sis, would you mind taking me home?" And she was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I get home and I try to go inside my home, and guess what? All of the locks were locked on the door, and I could not get in. It was in the middle of July in Texas, where in Texas it's almost kind of like the heat that's in the West in Nevada, like, or Phoenix, Arizona, or whatever, and hot. Even though it's humid here, it's just one of those just hot climates over there. So hot and humid don't mix. So we're in the month of July and I can't get in. I'm ringing the doorbell. And of course, I know he hears it on the inside. So I just sit down in the middle of the driveway and wait to see if I could, eventually get in. I called and say, hey, I'm outside. Can I get in? And nothing happened. So I may have sat out there for about a good hour, maybe. And I'm hot. And thank goodness it wasn't in the middle of the day and me trying to get into my own house, and I couldn't. But thankfully, after about an hour, almost an hour, I was able to get into the house. So those are once again, a scenario, something where the control of my life was taking place. And I was really getting tired of it. So actually, me and my daughter, I think she was around 8 or 9 at the time, could have been almost 10. Yeah. We started talking about it and we were like, look, we're ready to go. I don't know when we're going to go, but it's time for me to go. It's time for us to go. Because I knew I was taking my baby with me at that time. So life just went on for, as usual. Another time, I'm in our bedroom, and all of a sudden, here we go. We just get into a disagreement or whatever happens, and I'm standing in the closet. I'm literally standing in the closet, and he just pushes me back. I mean, he pushes me back to where I go like this, and all the clothes that are hung up behind me have fallen down because I'm falling on top of them. And of course, nothing that was physical, but there was no, bruises or anything. So I get up from that moment and I'm like, gosh, this just keeps happening. This man is just not letting up on me. And it came to a head when this is when I actually decided that I am leaving. And it wasn't easy, but he had came in from, because I remember telling you guys that he was contract on his R&R time, and he would leave and then come back. So he was on another one of those R&R time frames, and I he wanted to look through my phone again, and I was like, there's nothing in there. There's nothing there. He wanted to see if I had some kind of man's name under a woman's name, and I don't know how he would figure that out because I didn't have any kind of secret names or anything in my phone. But just because of the way he thought, the way he was thinking, that I had some man's phone number in my phone. So I didn't sleep in the bed with him that night because I slept on the couch and I just kept my phone on me. And woke up the next day, fine, it might have been the weekend or whatever. And I think it was a weekend. And I decided that, hey, I'm just going to keep my phone on me. I'm not giving, because I didn't have anything to hide. I just felt like he's still trying to control me. Why are you trying to take my phone? I never gave him any indication. I never went out hardly with my girlfriends. I didn't go clubbing. I wasn't clubbing. I was a good wife. I am there to be attentive to you. But how can I be attentive to someone who is making me feel like I'm walking on eggshells all the time I see them, every time I see them? And that's how it was in my house. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. So here we go. So literally, this man starts chasing me around my house, around our house. He starts chasing me in the kitchen around my house for my phone, for my phone. And I was determined, I'm not giving you my phone. I'm just not giving you my phone. And I don't know, whoever wants to say, hey, you should have gave him your phone, that's fine. But I was in the abusive environment and I wasn't going to give him that control. I was not going to give him constant control over my life. This is my phone. I pay the bill. So I kept my cell phone. Like I said, I didn't have anything in there, but there was another piece of my life that he wanted to control, and I was not having it. So We continue to do whatever you around the house and give me your phone, arguing, getting loud and things like that. And then all of a sudden I end up on the floor. I'm on the kitchen floor in the middle of the floor, and he finally got my phone. I guess he went through it. I was hurt, so I don't know, what happened after that. And maybe he found whatever he was looking for. Maybe he didn't. I am not sure. And that was it. And this was a span of a year and a half, and I was done. I was over it. There are so many scenarios, there's so many stories where people's abuse that they went through is so much deeper, so much more hurtful, so much more painful than what I experienced. So everybody's situation is different. I get it. But there was a last straw that I decided that I am just not going to take anymore. The mental abuse, some physical, I was over it. And I decided that it was time for me to go. And I called 911, and a police officer came over, and he did a civil standby where I could just gather my things. And when civil standbys, you can't take your whole house with you. You can't take couches and chairs and tables or anything like that. Get your important things, get your clothes, get your purse, your cell phone, and your documents, whatever documents that you may have, medical wise, government wise. Get the documents and things that you can. So my sister said I could come and stay with her. My mom was still living at the time, my sister and my mother. So they had an extra bedroom. So the police came over. I grabbed some things, and my sister was basically on the way. And the police officer stayed there till my sister got there. And that was it. I just could not take it couldn't take it anymore. Of course, there is actually one more story that I don't think I mentioned in part one, because there were several stories, but there was a time where he had me by my pants at the very top of my pants. He was holding on where the zipper and the button snap was, and he held me close to where, if he wanted to, he could have done like this. He literally could have punched me in my face, and I was actually bracing for that. I was bracing for him to hit me, because I was like, let me go, let me go. So when someone is holding you by your pants or wherever they're holding you, he didn't have me in a constraint, but he had my pants. So I could not move. I was trying to maneuver to get out of his grip, but that didn't work. So we never fell on the ground or floor or anything like that, but he just held onto my pant, and I was like, let me go. And he just stared at me. I mean, when I say one of the most, like, a scary stare, and I was just like, I know this man is supposed to hit me any moment. He is about to hit me. I know he is. I know he is. Don't even know how he let me go. I don't even know. I can't even remember. Like I say, it's been so long, um, over 10 years, but he didn't hit me. But I knew he was. I just knew he was about to hit me with the way that he had me gripped by the top of my pants, and the way his other hand was free. His other hand was free. And I was just like, I'm freaking out on the inside, because I just know that he is about to whack me. But that didn't happen. I'm so thankful, because it would have truly scared my daughter if he would have done that. She was in the room at the time, and I know that that would have just scared her if I would have ended up on the floor. But I just want to let anyone out there know, any woman who's going through it. I know you hear this all the time. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Yes, you feel like you're alone, even with your children in the home with you, because they technically can't help you. They technically can't. You know, in some cases, there we've heard of a lot of stories where children jump in to assist their mother, and you know try to break them free from their abuser. And, you have sister friends, you have family, and things like that where you feel like you just can't, tell anyone. You can't go anywhere. You don't want to go to a shelter. You feel like there's so much against you. You just feel like you have no hope. And I know that feeling because I ended up in women's counseling. The age range was from 17 to 71. How that happened, I don't know. But literally, the age ranges were from 17, a young woman pregnant who already had one child, and she was pregnant again, who was being abused by her boyfriend, and another woman who had been married for over 30 years to her husband, who was her ex at the time she started counseling, and telling their stories, their compelling and gripping stories of their abuse. And it's really real out here. It's really, really real. And telling your story will break the chains for other people and for other women who have gone through it. So I'm here as your sister to say I love you, to say I'm with you. There's all other kind of content, everything that's out there right now. Everything. But are people sharing their truth? Are you sharing your truth? I just want to let you know that this channel was for me to, for healing. Working out, physical fitness has helped me heal. There is something out there that's going to help you heal as well when you decide that you're ready to go. Just know that this page is dedicated to you, because I know sometimes you feel like, is there anybody else that has experienced this? Is there anybody else out there who I can relate to? You can. You can relate to me. I am your sister and I love you. So, once again, Survivor Sis, even though you may still be in that environment, you still may be under that same roof, you are already a survivor. I hope to continue to encourage you. I hope that you gain the courage to release yourself from that environment. That is my hope, because you deserve it. You are worthy. You are enough. And there are more advocates out here like me who want to see you healed, whole, and living the best life you've ever dreamed of, because it's waiting on the other side of the door. It's waiting on you. And I'm waiting to give you a big virtual hug, girl. I am here to give you a big virtual hug. So stay tuned. Stay with me. We're going on a journey. It's a day by day process. It's not easy, but I am here to be open and honest and share my story. I am alive and well. My daughter is 26. I have two beautiful grandbabies, and I'm thankful. So, once again, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm trying to get up to 50 subscribers. I'm currently at 47, and I hope to be able to go live to share more with you guys on this platform. So, hang in there with me. Like I said, I'm going to continue to work out. I'm hoping to one day be in a fitness competition to bring more awareness to this underserved cause and show the world that there are women who decided to walk out the door and live again, because you can begin again. All right, sis. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. And I'll be back hopefully sooner than this last video that I made. This is part 2 Part three, I'm going to talk about what happened with me in women's counseling and what I did to assist other survivors when they transitioned from abuse to the shelter, and what I have been able to assist with in that process. And I cannot wait to share that with you. So stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. All right, sis, I love you. Mwah. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead. Take care. Bye bye.